It's your boy Pop Pop. So, Bill Gates is warning of another round of the cough that's coming our way. And they're saying you better get ready for it. And it's going to be much worse. It's going to be much worse than everything that we've experienced before. So, he's buying up incredible amounts of farmland in the United States. And the Dragon Country is also buying up farmland in the United States. And you can bet that when the shizzy hits the fizzy, that those trains that normally supply Costco and Sam's are going to keep going right on by until they get to a port and they get shipped out overseas. We're already shipping out food overseas when other countries aren't. Uncle Joe has given the Dragon Country 5 million barrels, not 5 million gallons, but 5 million 50-gallon barrels of oil from our strategic petroleum reserve that can't be replenished at the same price that it was put in there. And it can't be replenished because America is fracking to get our oil now, which means that they're pumping water into the ground to get oil out of the shale that's underneath the ground. So we're very limited in what we can do. And we're in a bad way. We're in a bad way with over $30 trillion of debt, a very low strategic oil supply, ammunitions that we've given to other countries for their defense, an open border. And now all of a sudden it's like we have a fifth column that's going into our country, and we have all of these train derailments and power outages out in Oakland, California. There's a massive power outage. So something's going on. Our country is being deconstructed on purpose. But in any case, as a person who's the better part of a century old, who remembers America at its peak, it makes me very sad to see what's being done to our country. Makes me very sad. Back in WW2, the United States used to actually give out Bibles to service members. And there was one soldier that got shot, and the round hit the Bible that was in his pocket. He had a Bible in his pocket over top of his heart, and the Bible stopped the round from going through his heart. So, it just makes me very sad. Makes me very sad. And my generation in its day could keep a secret. If our country had to fight WW2 all over again in this current generation, there's no way that we could win it, because anytime somebody gets a little secret knowledge about something, their ego and their pride makes them rush off to tell everybody else how smart they are and what they know. So there's no way that we could win anymore. If you got an opinion about it, as long as you watch your words and you keep civil, that's fine with me. But please don't come on my thread if you're going to be crude, rude, or ridiculous. But fam, this is not time to be playing around. I'm not giving medical advice to anybody, but I'm filtering my water, and then I boil it after I filter it, and then after I filter it and I boil it, I put a little bit of colloidal silver in my water. And that's why my eyes are so blue. Is colloidal silver gives you really blue eyes. And if you're a person of color, it's problematic because it can cause vitiligo. It can cause your skin to go much lighter. But for me, at my age, those are compromises that are well worth it. So my alarm just went off. I got to check my blood pressure. That's part of being old. But fam, what I suggest in this day and age is make sure that you're in good straits with the good Lord Almighty, and make sure you stocked up so that you won't have to go to the gas station or the store when everybody else is panicking. So, Sandy, serious? Like I said, I'm over a half century old and the better part of a century. So, I'm old enough to know better. But in any case, okay. So, in any case, what I would suggest for those of you that are new to prepping, I would fill your bathtub up with water. Keep that 35 to 50 gallons of water in your bathtub. And that way when the electricity's out and there's no water coming through the tap, you can still wash your dishes. You can still manually flush your toilet. You can filter that water and drink it. And if the event doesn't happen anytime soon and you want to bathe your kids, all you got to do is top it off with some warm water or some hot water. Bathe your kids, drain the tub, clean it, and then refill the tub with water. But fam, you should definitely keep at least one bathtub full of water at all times now. You should have canned food that doesn't need to be cooked, because I guarantee you, when the stuff hits the fan and you're cooking food and your neighbors haven't prepared, you're going to be the first door that they knock on and demand to be fed. When I was a kid, my mother used to cook Sunday dinner fresh. And by fresh, I meant she would go out and slaughter a chicken and pull the feathers off and cook chicken dinner. And so we had neighbors that used to always show up at Sunday afternoon And my mother would ask them, well, are you staying for dinner? And they would say, well, yes, thank you. We'll stay for dinner. My mother got tired of always having to put up with these uninvited guests. So one afternoon when they were sitting there, with everybody else talking, my mother took the chicken and she chopped the head off right in front of the neighbors. And they asked her what was going on. She said, well, you're staying for dinner. This is dinner. And she started to tear the feathers out right in front of the people. And it had the desired effect. They got up and left and never came back. But as crucial as things are in the world, what I would do if I were you, I would start with eating the frozen food out of the freezer so that when the power goes out, I'm not talking about if the power, I'm talking about when the power goes out. Because we've had that happen all over the country where people are trying to bring the grid down. So I would start with eating the food out of the freezer first, then eating your canned food next, and then saving your dried beans and rice for your emergency stores. But you're going to have to learn how to cook from scratch. Not many people know how to do that. You're going to have to learn how to butcher an animal if you want meat, because these elites are doing away with cattle, they're doing away with chickens, and many areas don't allow you to have chickens, even on your own property. But you can have rabbits. And what I'm telling you, fam, and this is going to sound rough, but if you want to have meat in the future and you don't want to be stuck eating crickets, you should get some rabbits and raise them. Take good care of the animals and all that. Treat them fairly and kindly. But know in the back of your mind that when the stuff hits the fan, that's going to be a food supply for you and your family. Your kids have got to understand that. People that only get their food off a plastic tray at the grocery store, you're going to be short when the stuff hits the fan. So what I suggest also is you practice a day off grid and you don't use electricity or your phones or anything. You learn to cook with wood or propane or something else, and you practice your camping skills, practice using a dry toilet, all of that stuff, so that when the time comes, you'll be ready. Above all, remember, Pop loves you. I care about you. The good Lord loves you more. I'm outie because I got to go take my medicine. Pop out.